When we come back, we'll be talking with Tino Ruiz, the owner of We Do It All, to talk about our experience with construction and to give some good helpful hints. We are talking with Tino Ruiz. He has been doing all of our construction here. So Tino, tell us a little bit about yourself. So what does your company do? And also what made you decide to move to Coco?
Yeah, we do a lot of new buildings, renovation and repair. Our company dedicated to construction.
And it's aptly called We Do It All.
We do it all, exactly. That's the name. It's a registered company by Hacienda, and yes.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Nicaragua.
And how long have you been here?
But I came when I was a kid here, and I have over 25 years living in Coco.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I know. We have a friend who rents one of your houses.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yep. So you've been in Coco for 25 years. And what I found interesting was, you know, like you said, we do it all, right? Because I originally got referred to you because we needed a new power meter at the street and then new electrical done. But when we realized that you had a crew that could do everything, it made sense for us to use you for all of the work. And so you've been working with us for about, I guess, since January.
Yep.
And how do you feel about us as clients?
It's the best. Cannot complain about it.
Really?
Yeah, it's really nice to talk to work with you, because it's no use to be working with you. We became to be a friend, I can say.
Yes.
And it's nice because you give me ideas, and I can speak with you about the work, and you can tell me, oh, what about if we do this? And then I can tell you, okay, we can do this, but this.
Yeah, like we feed off of each other.
Exactly.
I thought that's
we are like a team.
Yeah, because I have a vision of what I want. Buzz has a vision. We come together, and then we talk to you, and it's like, oh yeah, of course we should put the lights in this location, or sure we should move that, or why aren't we opening this up, or why don't we reuse these doors for the closets? Like
Exactly.
I feel like you help us, you know, stay within a budget, right? So you help us with that, because originally I remember Buzz wanted to replace the windows, and you were like, we could just repair the ones that are broken, and then stain them, and they look fantastic. So that was smart, because this really those windows are beautiful.
But the good thing about, you know, like be working with you is that you know, you have a knowledge about this, and if I tell you something, you will know what I'm talking about, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I trust you. I mean, we've built a relationship, and so that really brings me kind of to our next area. What would someone moving from the US or Canada, like what do they need to know about construction? Because I've heard a lot of stories about somebody came in, they said that they were an electrician, they completely did it wrong, or you know, it looked nice, but behind the scenes it was a mess, and we had to have people come in and redo it. So what should you tell them to look for? And also about, we've had people that paid up front, and then the people stopped. They did half the job and then took off.
Well, our company, we are honest and dependable. So that's our phrase, what we use.
Right.
And we respect that with our work. Like, we normally go speak to a client and say to them, you know, like, okay, this will cost you this much. We can do a contract, or we can actually talk to them about, you know, taking them to the hardware sector, getting our discounts on that.
And so, that's right. We were able to use your discount on the tile, but then we paid for it ourselves.
Exactly.
Front, right?
So I can take you to the places that I buy the material, so you can pay directly, so you feel more comfortable.
Right.
And
Or if you wanted to put it on your credit card so you could get more miles to fly down here, which is what
Even
I was
better.
doing.
Yeah. So yeah, and that doesn't affect me because I'm not like, there are many people that work on a percentage in the.
Yeah, right. So exactly, but you don't do a percentage of, you don't
Exactly.
add like a contractor fee of 10% on top of everything.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
Which we find a lot in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, and many people here does the same thing too, but I don't, because I'm charging you for my labor. So why I gonna have to? I gonna take advantage,
Right.
that kind of thing in you. You know, like, if you are good to me, I'm good to you.
If I'm newly coming from the U.S. and what do I need to look out for with other contractors? What are the questions I need to ask? What do I need to look out for? So if someone says I need 50% up front, what
say
are
no.
you say no? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of problems here in the area with that, because, as you said before, we have a lot of people charging you and not doing the job. Or they come to you, oh yes, we can do it. And they say that they can do things that they've never seen before.
Right.
And here in Costa Rica, to sue somebody to not to do a contract is very difficult. You have to pass a really long process.
So it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Right.
It will. So that's why many of the contractors do it, because they know that it's difficult. You will have to spend a lot of time, and they do it more for U.S. and Canada people, because
Right.
they know that you will have to spend a lot of time here in Costa Rica, so you can sue them,
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
they take advantage of that. So that's one of
Gringo tax.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things that you have to.
Look out for, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And something else that I will tell you, you should ask to another people.
Yeah, references, right? References,
yes.
and then see the work.
Exactly.
Right.
Because, like, my company goes more by word,
Word of
reference.
right.
Yeah.
That's how we met you. Carrie sent us, connected us, and then I know that you've done work for Lauren and a bunch of other people, and so I've seen that work. And I mean, now I've seen, I'm a reference here, everybody. I'm a reference for Tino. We do it all because I trust and I know and I see the solid work that you do. So here's a good question. Any advice for people that are living in the house while there's a construction going? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, well, you might gonna see some things that maybe if you have been in a construction in U.S. or Canada, you will say, oh, I've seen this different,
Yeah.
we do it different, or something like that, like, oh, we don't do that kind of
Yeah,
things.
but that's not right.
Yeah, so I just wanna, to advise you that wait until the end.
Yeah.
You'll see. I know we do a lot of that. Something that we do a lot of things that you might wanna say, oh well, but at the end, I will promise you that it will be worth it.
Yes. Well, I like what we've done here, which is to just so we moved into one room while we're getting the other ones, and then we said, okay, get the 2 rooms upstairs done for the boys. So those are completely finished. They look fantastic. And so we now moved from the one downstairs to the finished one upstairs. My dad's going to come in a few weeks
Awesome.
and visit us and stay there. So, but at least we're able to close off a section,
Yeah.
right? And so, we know that the other half of the house has no ceiling and all of this, but we live through that and it's not a problem. And we've come to really like your crew as,
And what we like more about you is that you don't say, oh what a mess, or things like
Yeah.
that, because you know that you are under a construction right now. And we like that because then we don't have to be like thinking, okay, what we can do to
I don't need you to clean up the dust and then make the dust tomorrow and then clean it up again and make the dust the next day.
Exactly.
Right, and so
That
something
kind of
like that
things,
is
yes.
be patient for that, right?
Exactly.
Because, well, that would add on to the labor cost.
Exactly.
Right, so that's why, like, be flexible, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's what we've done is, so what I liked about our relationship is, because we're doing this, like, you know, slowly over time, is that, you know, that we were able to say, okay, well, you know, here's the long list, but I need this one done by this date because we've got the boys coming, or I need to get that shower water heater in so that the studio now has hot water, right? Because we've been living in cold water. Well, warm because of the tank, but yeah.
And actually, gotta let you know something. The most I like is renovations.
You do?
Yeah, because they are challenged.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Rather than building from scratch.
Oh yeah, because that's something that we know how to do in the beginning. So, but
yeah, you don't have to. Every wall you take
Yes,
out, every area you look, is another surprise.
exactly, I don't have to be guessing because
Right.
So it's awesome. I like challenge. So renovations are the.
I do too. It's great. What's a way to, like, set a realistic budget here, right? How do you help your clients do that? So if there's a renovation project and they say, I know we're doing it a little different because we're doing it piece by piece, right? But, you know, how does someone come in and know, like, what you pay in the US is not what you pay here, but some things are more expensive, like materials, than, you know, so how does one go about figuring out what a budget is?
Well, yeah, that's a difficult part because I have to do an estimate. Like when you call me and you say, okay, you come and see this renovation that I have. So I have to go there. You tell, okay, you say, I want a door here, but you don't say what kind of door. We have many different.
Right, exactly. So we have to pick, like, so better around. So I think it's a good idea then to have your customers go and look, like you sent us to Expo Ceramica, and we looked at, so we could see what costs were for certain materials.
And what you like more.
Right, exactly. And so you can pick and choose. I can budget on a low end, I can budget on a high end, because the labor is pretty standard, right?
Exactly.
So, well, at least in your, you know, with you, I think sometimes people are like, it balloons out of control. And that's what you have to be careful for. But with the materials, you know, that helped me set our budget, like you said. So look at the doors.
Exactly.
Go to the place where you are going to buy them, so we know how much they'll cost, because you get a discount too.
And
in
if you
some
say,
places.
okay, I just wanted to be relaxed. I don't want to do nothing. You take care. So I will do it. So then I will take time and I'm gonna give you different prices. I'm gonna give you kind of two budget.
Yes.
And then you decide.
Yep.
You decide. The timeline for a construction, that's the difficult part to put in a contract. Well, you can say, okay, that will take me 2 months. But guess what? We have a big problem that you don't have in US or Canada.
Which is?
Materials.
Materials. So sometimes it's difficult to get materials?
Exactly.
So what materials would that be? What are the hardest ones to get?
Normally we have some kind of similar product to what you have in US, but here, so when you come and you see it, but when you ask the client says, I want that one. I want that faucet, for example. And then when you go, we don't have.
Right.
So you have to wait 1, 2 weeks, or even 2 months.
Right, exactly.
So then we have, for example, a wall open, waiting for that faucet, that we cannot advance on the job.
Right.
You know, like, until we have the actual faucet. You know, and that's something that the client has to know sometimes, or they can choose something that.
Say, here's an alternative.
Exactly.
Right? So that's what you're saying is more of, if what they wanted isn't available, then, you know, you could offer, say, hey, so we can get this, you know, this is going to affect our time. Well, I mean, I'm a project manager by trade, right? So I'm very well aware of, you know, of how things are going to impact, right?
That sometimes the client doesn't understand. No, we want this now, and we want this kind, and it's difficult. And even you go and you say, okay, I need this, and they say, okay, we will have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that tomorrow takes
Mañana.
time.
What does mañana really mean here in Costa Rica? That's another thing. Mañana, when you're asking in construction or that, does not mean tomorrow.
Yeah, it means mañana. Really,
Mañana, 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 mañana. It means whenever.
Yeah.
And even when you say that, sometimes they don't show up.
Yeah.
But you people do. And that's why I've referred you to a lot of people, and they said, wow, he came in, they did a fantastic job. They were, we didn't feel like we didn't feel like we paid too much. It was a fair price, and I think that's important too, because you're going to get more jobs that way, like you said. And you said you want it done. I remember one time you said to me, look, I want this to look good. I want you to be happy, right? Because if you're not, then you're not going to refer me to something else, and you also have to feel proud of your work. And that's the other thing that I think you show pride in your team does as well. Speaking of that, how many people do you have working for you?
Right now we are a team of 22.
22, wow.
22 guys right now,
Yeah.
Yes. Most of us, we are here in Coco, some other are in Flamingo. We have a couple in Tamarindo. Or a steady group like that we keep is 15 guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then you might supplement with, depending upon...
Yeah.
And so, have you found yourself ever like turning down a job because you were too busy? Rather than get another crew of people that you don't know?
Exactly. I've been having, that's one of my biggest problems because it's my responsibility at the end. So yeah, I have to decline sometimes some work because some job because we are so busy in other places. And be, contracting people that you don't know, sometimes it doesn't work that good.
Right.
Sometimes it's better, you say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I cannot, but if you wait for me 1 month, I will be helping.
And it would be worth the wait. We love the work you've done here, and it's been a pleasure working with you. And I know your crew is busy, but how can people get in touch with you if they want to get some renovations done? You've got Facebook?
Yeah, but the best way, it will be WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, okay,
Yes.
So we'll put that down here. How to get Tino down here in WhatsApp. And then you can just say, Swann Junction mentioned you.
Exactly. Yeah. You will get a 10% discount.
Oh, there you go. He said it here. He said it here. The Swann Junction discount.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to get too busy again, Tino.
Awesome, awesome.
But what I do know is that I can depend on you. I don't believe that you'd ever go and just leave here because you were getting something bigger from someone else.
Oh,
like
no,
that's I think what I've seen happen with some people is that so they get started on a job and then they find one that's more, that they were able to get more money from another gringo. And so they take priority on that one, and then the other job gets delayed.
Yeah, no, that's something that we don't do. We don't have preference.
Yeah.
Let's say.
You do what you say you're going to do.
Exactly.
And we appreciate that. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. If there's anything we haven't gone over, if you have any questions, please go ahead and either put it in the comments or you can reach out to Tino. We'd also like to know really, what additional things would you like to hear? Put those in the comments and share, obviously, and please subscribe. Ring that bell so that we can continue to make great content for all of you. Thanks so much. Because people are like, oh, there's so many people who are electricians here. Okay, time to talk about our house. I might need therapy after watching walls disappear. So, welcome to Pura Vida Voices again. Okay. Welcome to Pura Vida. What's the name of our segment? This ant off of you, so we'll cut that. I was afraid it was going to go in your shirt and bite you. Okay. What is, let's say, the one... cutting there. Okay, I will. Let me just get there. So, wait, tell me again at the start. One thing you learn quickly in Costa Rica is fixing up a house, renovation, as we talked about earlier, is that, this is the intro, so we didn't talk about it earlier. Yes. One thing you learn quickly in Costa Rica One thing you learn quickly about Costa Rica, about building, also work with a really great contractor who can help you through this process.
Amen.
Done.
Eso.
Okay, good job. You did a great job. Great job, Tino. He'll make it look awesome too. And he's recording right now too, so he's probably, we can have some outtakes. We'll have blooper rolls like there's an ant on you.
This episode is brought to you today by Wife Fan, the only fan powered entirely by Italian Leo hand gestures. Why pay for electricity when your wife's storytelling can cool down the whole patio? Wife Fan, powered by passion, drama, and just a touch of marinara. Wife Fan, feel the breeze of opinion.